at least more whites, that much more whites. But that means there's a lot of blacks there.
Yeah.
Get me?
So,
And so, here you go, most schools I work in affluent areas have no black teachers.
that's crazy.
They have black janitors, black cooks, no black teachers.
That's crazy.
And so, you know, as you can imagine, when you look at the statistical facts, not which is the visual, you see more blacks and Latino being suspended at an alarming rate compared to their white counterparts. And how could this be when there's only a handful of them or very little of them and so many of them?
Very true.
So what has happened is that we see what we want to see.
That part.
So now how am I going to prove this? Okay. Well, I'm going to capture the story of some people. I'm taking some statistical data, and I'm going to cross-reference all of that. And that's what I did. So I took the statistics that they put out, their own statistics of the schools I was working at, and cross-reference that with the stories of the 5. I couldn't get more than 5.
Yep.
I put out to a lot of principals in Western Mass, bro. And there was only a handful, A, that responded, and B, that were available.
That's crazy.
It was not a lot of black principals that work in white schools. Yeah, they're all in Springfield, yeah, they're all in Harper Center, but they're not. You got one in Windsor. I mean, yeah, y'all like to meet that brother. Talk to him today. But I heard they got one there, but they really don't have a lot that work in white schools because it's a headache, you know, because you work just trying to, you know, bamboozle you. Try to do this shit. And a lot of people don't want to put with that, but I was up to the task. Trust me. It wasn't me. I was working with the kids.
Very true.
Because they were getting, they're bright kids, and they were getting.
So do you feel a lot of these kids in our generation, do they have a chance coming from what you're seeing from even running across a gentleman like myself and from seeing from all the neighborhoods you call? Do you feel some of the kids coming up? I like to say this question to other people, and we're gonna get off we're gonna switch a couple of topics, but we're gonna get back into it. But do you feel a lot of our kids, you can see these kids in your older age taking care of you if you was messed up? Could you depend on some of these generational kids coming up, the ones that you have came across that look like they're going the right way, or do you think it's a facade because they don't know what to really do and they're looking for guidance?
Well, you know, that's a tough question to answer because I would like to say that's just one thing, but it's very complicated. You know, and a lot of these kids have the trifecta coming at them. A bad home, in a bad school situation, and they have lack of parents, that kind of stuff. So they have a lot against them. So then you got the social media doing their thing to try and tear us down. Social media is the new slavery, by the way. So it got us hooked. You know, people want to look like Lil Durk and shit, you know, that kind of crazy stuff. Or they want to look like Beyonce. You know, people forget who they are. They actually tell who they are, and they want to aspire to some other person because they don't have no confidence or belief of who they are. And they're being told that they're a beautiful person in their household told that. There's a lot of. So that's the question. It's tough. My kids didn't take care of me. My brother wants to live out there with her all the time, right? In New York. So.
Yeah, because I think about as we get older, I was like, you know, we all gonna get old, and that's a fortune, that's a blessing to get old.
Oh yeah.
You know I want to know if when we get into our old age, when we couldn't function, all of us, on the next generation, when we see outside of the streets, can we depend on them the way the economy and everything's going, and people are taking things from us, or you know, I'm hearing from certain older gentlemen that got money and from don't got money. We're looking like it's going into a civil war. They're taking a lot of benefits away. Like I don't know, I'm just observing it, and I know I got kids. But I know I'm going to keep sturdy, so I can make sure.
I'm saying I'm sturdy, bro.
I'm going to make sure you're sturdy, so I don't got to worry about
it. My lens is sturdy. Like, I see a lot of, I see the glass being half full rather than half empty. Yeah, you got problems, of course. Yeah. And if you go to a place, like social media, and think that is reflective of our people, and it's not.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? Yep. And that's what they want you to think. That's what they're drawing their data from. They're saying, oh, look how blacks act. Look. But not everybody's doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
That's the fact. So.
What's your opinion on the $14, $15 minimum wage in the state of Connecticut? Is that enough to survive off?
No, especially not Connecticut. Hell to no. It's ridiculous how the people who are making these laws are filthy rich, but they don't want you to even be comfortable. They don't want anybody to be comfortable. So they force you into, they don't force you, but it's almost forcible that you do a life of crime to subsidize your income because you got to eat, you got to put bread on the table, bro, and That's a fact, man. And I hate to say that, but a lot of people just take that route. They don't have to. But 2 or 3 jobs. I worked 2 or 3 jobs when I was a kid. I hustled. I always had like a shopping cart. Go help with groceries and I go party on with that money. I always had a hustle.
Do you believe in our same part of the question? Do you believe in part of that question? Do you believe in our local politicians?
I think that some don't. Some of them just don't have. Some of them don't have the courage. I'm gonna say it. Some of them don't have the courage to go ahead and shine. You know, they want to fit in. They want to make connections. They want to be okay. And you know, so going back to my book, that's what I wanted to find out about these other principals. Were they trying to fit in? Were they trying to be okay? Or were they really standing strong? Were they being straight? I didn't need no friends. I wasn't going there for friends. I was going there to do a job.
As you're supposed to.
Yeah, get my car and go. And then, you know, that's it, bro. And I'm done. I wasn't trying to make friends and be all that. I was very cordial, I joke a lot, I good jokes, but
Do the task.
I'm do the work, bro. And so the politicians, you know, I see a lot of them, you know, honestly, just trying to fit in, man. Just trying to do their own thing and take care of their own people and shit like that, you know. And make a name for themselves, but not really do any change. They're trying to do little incremental change, but they're not trying to flip it. And our schools need to be flipped. But the way schools are funded, Charles, is insane.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna give you some information on the podcast, bro. I ain't the highest educated, I ain't the best reader, but I got my license. I ain't the best speller, but I got, I hold stuff down. So a lot of people look at me because those are my weaknesses, bro. Like if you put a book in front of me, I probably will stumble over the words, but I'm okay with staying on the podcast because me still being who I am, I'm still gonna be successful because I know what I enjoy and I'm gonna use my skills of, my digital skills and my driving skills to get me farther in life.
Got you. So let me say something about that. See, you're resourceful. You're resourceful. You know your resources, and you got to be humility. You're smart. You're smart to know what you can do, what you can't do, but what you can do, you can do anything you want. That's the bottom line. The bottom line is you can do anything you want. You can be a teacher. You can do anything you fucking want. The thing about the educational piece is just one path. Because there are so many paths you can take.
Yes.
And that's educational, but not a traditional educational.
Yes, that's what I'm learning. I'm learning that.
So in traditional education, to be honest with you, it's not the best route to take all the time. If I could do all over, child, I would take a trade. Learn how to build a fucking house.
Fact. Carpentry.
Come on, bro.
That makes sense.
Man, that'd be a principal. I mean, yeah, I love my job, bro. I would say I wouldn't do it over, but if I could do it over, I would take a trade. Now, how you build a house, bro?
So you think people do that because we was put into these predicaments and that's the way that they taught us, or people are scared to come out of their own box to look for another way to be successful?
Combination of things. Some people aren't told that all right. Some people are told that they're not smart, they're not bright enough, they're good enough. And not the word, just in absence. The boy that's not saying it. Would you let them believe? Like, I've seen how teachers go in class, oh, you're so smart. So one kid gives the answer. It doesn't give the same props to the color. I may know that. You never really pay attention. Which is my point.
So as you said, now I got a serious question. You said you brought it to the point. If you brought that to the board, the superintendent, of a person like you that had that pull, brought that to the board of the superintendent, how would the superintendent that knows that the system's not for the kids, how would they respond to that question?
Well, it's not a question. I go to when I go to the community, I go there with statistical data.
Okay, so when you will bring
so it's not me talking